Hey everyone, welcome to the second video of a best of 5 between GnarWallMan and TossBoss. They are friends from the same clan. I am USA. And within the top left corner TossBoss, and in the top right corner GnarWallMan. I will be casting this with Fragile.
Hello. First question though. I am USA, but you're playing on European server or
On the American servers.
really? I thought they were Europeans.
I have no idea. Anyway,
Okay.
like I said, it was the second video. For all those who have watched the first video, you notice that I'm casting this with my wingman Fragile. He's the angry cop. For some reason,
The bad cop.
The bad
No.
cop.
I'm not angry. I'm just
Offended.
stating some facts here.
Okay. Anyway, despite him being stating facts, as he calls it, he's the best wingman anyone can ask for. He's always quite happy to fill in the holes that I leave, and they're quite a lot. So let's take a look at the openers of TossBoss. A standard opener with the gateway and the pylon. He could also have chosen to start building here. I started with a what's it called, a forge, to block it off with a cannon, and later on with a gateway. At least that is if he would have scouted this expansion, and if he could have seen the timing on the spawning pool, because that will tell him if he can go for a fast expand, as in a nexus before the gateway. That's a very popular build as a Protoss versus a Zerg. Anyway, there is the expansion up for GnarWallMan. You should definitely choose another name.
Oh heck yeah!
I'll
So we
just,
can pronounce it like a little bit faster, better, accurate.
yeah, I think I'll just call you G-Man from now on.
Yeah. That's a good one. G-Man.
And T-Boss.
T-Bone.
T-Bone. Anyway, cybernetics on the way. Pretty standard openers. Could have dropped the Nexus already if you would have done some more scouting. As a Protoss, you need to know the timings on all the Zerg buildings, especially the expansion and the spawning pool, obviously, and you need to know how much gas a Zerg has. Some Zerg actually go for gas after the third expansion, and if GnarWallMan, or G-Man, as I'm gonna call him, or at least I'll try to call him like that, if he would have scouted, he would also know that there is not a whole lot happening in the Protoss base. So yeah, that would be a nice time for you to drop your second expansion, or your third actually. No, second. Third base, second expansion, that's the way to call it. Speedlings on the way, metabolic boost. So far nothing fancy. Expansion for the Protoss. Could have done it a lot earlier in my opinion.
And you have 4 Zerglings ready, and you're not doing anything with them.
Yeah, Zerglings on the way. Could have scouted earlier in my opinion.
Way early.
And as a Protoss, if you want to do a fast expansion, build the mothership core, because the photon overcharge is quite overpowered versus a Zerg at the start at least.
And it's you got that from Blizzard because so you can defend yourself against Zergling rushes.
Yep. Anyway, pretty standard opening from both guys. The 4-gate with Robo. I would actually go for a 3-gate and Robo if you're only on 2 bases, and especially when the first expansion is as late as it is.
And
Wow.
G-Man, if you see like the Protoss is expanding, immediately build your third hatchery, because he will be like way behind if.
Yeah. As you this is very interesting. Actually, what Fragile is saying, you see you're hovering over 700 minerals. That means you actually can and have to build an expansion, especially that you have to be in the lead with expansions if you're facing Terran or if you're facing Protoss. You also have to have one more expansion because, well, yeah, you're Zerg and you're actually wasting more money on units. You're throwing them more often to the meat grinder of the Protoss. That's what you do as Zerg. So you need an extra expansion, extra hatchery for those extra units.
And keep them on their toes.
Yeah.
Just rest as much as possible.
Yeah, as you can see, TossBoss has like 4 units, of which one you can't damage down, that's for sure. But you have like 500 minerals all the time, only 2 hatcheries, and well, now you do an attack with the Zerglings, but you could have done it earlier, in my opinion. Obviously, Protoss can just warp in units.
Yeah, and you seen that he went for like already for 4 gateways, and yet you still decide to build more Zerglings. That's very weird.
Yeah, it would have been better if you either went for. I'm guessing you were making mutas. Yes. No, not yet. Well, this would have been a nice time to go for mutas, especially because
Really?
you're hovering on so many minerals. Yeah, this map is actually quite great for Mutalisk. I mean, just take a look at the main base of T-Boss. Mutalisk can hover around pretty easily. There's a lot of space around the mineral patches.
Yeah, okay, but I always think if you go mutas against a Protoss player, then eventually your mutas will get defeated by if he reacts accordingly by making what's it called, those Phoenix guys.
Yeah, that's true. But if you force a Protoss to go Phoenix, that means he can't spend it on other ground units. Phoenixes are actually quite useless. 1 or 2 spore crawls is enough to fend off the Phoenixes. And Queens do a nice job versus Phoenixes as well. Yes, they do low damage, but on the other hand they have massive HP. They have 1 armor, and Phoenixes have 2 attacks. So in total they do okay damage, but because they do 2 attacks at the same time, it gets reduced by 2.
Okay, but after the Phoenix, when the Protoss player can keep the mutas away for a little while, he can switch. I hope he can switch. Just go to the Archons, right?
True. That's true. But as a Zerg, in my opinion, first a setup like this, initiate with like 10 Mutalisk or something, and well, stick to the plan of Mutalisk if it works, and switch to something else if it doesn't work. I mean, you are Zerg, so switching units isn't all that fancy. You should be able to do it easily.
Yeah.
I mean, where a Protoss has to build more gateways or more robotics facilities, a Zerg only has to build like 1 production building.
Yeah.
The actual production buildings are the hatcheries, or are they called, the hives, the lairs.
Pretty nice defending of his 3rd hatchery, the G-Man.
Yeah. I don't know if T-Boss is quite effective here, but at least he is in the lead with expansions as it is of now, and that's something. Let's just say you don't want to be in a position like this as a Zerg. You don't want to be.
You also have to be like one hatchery.
1 expansion ahead
advanced.
of your opponent.
Yeah.
Anyways, it looks like G-Man is still sticking to the Zergling plan. We see Mutalisks on the way, 4 and 1 attack.
And if you have so much money floating, just build those your Roach Cavern, your Hydra Den, your Muta buildings, and then you can just react accordingly. It was very fast with your hatcheries.
Yep. And look at what happens here. Look at the minerals of all the players, including T-Boss.
Yeah.
I mean, 1k resources. What's that? You could have done an all-out attack earlier, in my opinion. You don't need to wait for Colossi if you're facing Zerglings. Just build more what are called Zealots with an armor upgrade. if the Zerg has 1 armor upgrade, a Zergling, make sure your Zealots have 2 armor upgrade or 2 weapon upgrades, which means that it will kill him in 2 blows instead of 3. Anyway, the thing I do like is that you try to, at least TossBoss tries to do some damage with the War Prison. The War Prison will be taken down right now by the Mutalisks. However, I don't think it will be enough. This map is actually favoring Zerg, and why is that? Like I said, Mutalisk is a very viable option on this map. The mineral patches are quite exposed to Muta attacks, and there's something else that TossBoss could have expected. Is Mutalisk. He only saw Zerglings, and 9 out of 10 times Zergs will go for Mutalisks if they're only building Zerglings. And another thing worth mentioning is the supply. Again, 2k minerals, what the heck? I mean, you should have like 200 supply already, or at least some more cannons as the Protoss to prevent these Zergling run-bys. Zergling run-by doing a lot of damage in the 3rd expansion or the 3rd base. All probes are taken out.
Well, I don't understand this. I mean, do you know? Yeah, you know that there's another that's like 3 expansions, and you could have like taken that. You were harassing the bottom expansion, that was good, but you didn't do anything with the other Zergling group. You didn't attack the top expansion.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's like you have to do it as a Zerg. You have to do attacks simultaneously. It's not the problem if you lose all your Zerglings if you just do an attack move on an expansion nexus. I mean, that's what Zerg for. That's why you're in Gold League. You're allowed to lose units. I mean, you're having 3k minerals, 3.3k at the moment. So just waste your Zerglings if you don't have the micro to control multiple groups. That's okay. You're in Gold League. So just throw the Zerglings, for example, at this base and control the Mutalisks. I mean, your opponent is in Gold League as well, so don't expect a split defense from him. Unless he's actually a Platinum or a Diamond player. But yeah, well, that's something you might figure out in a bit. But that's something you have to do as a Zerg. I mean, as of now, you could have just done an attack move with all these Zerglings in the middle of the map at your 3rd base. Just send them to an expansion here. The Mutalisks are already on the nice have a nice angle on these probes on the mineral line, and do simultaneous attacks. That's a lot better than serial attacks.
And I don't know if you want to try to build Ultralisks or something, but like only going for Zerglings and have like a handful of Mutas, it's not going to help you against Protoss or any other opponent actually.
Yep. It is that the Protoss has a hard time defending versus your Mutalisk. That's a good thing for you. But if you had built some more cannons, some Blinkstalkers,
and yeah. Thank God you're attacking the Colossus now.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm gonna be really pissed.
Actually, take a look at the Protoss army. Let's go to units. What do you see? Yes, the Archons are quite a nuisance for you. But guess what? I don't think Archons can go through this little hole here you made for circling run-bys to your main base. What does that mean? It means that you can actually take out the 2 Stalkers and the 3 Sentries. The only thing you have to be aware of is the High Templar with its Storm. But hey, no big deal, it's only 1 Storm. So I actually think you could have ended the game here with your Mutalisk in his main base.
Yep.
Just try to have a better awareness of what units you're facing at the moment. I mean, Archons are slow, you probably see them coming. Which means that you have enough time as a Mutalisk or as your Mutalisk to pull back. And this is actually oh.
TossBoss, please build observers like the last game. I mean, knowledge is everything. You need to explore everything and check what your opponent is doing.
Yeah, and look at the G-Man going for wild amount of Banelings, and the Banelings do have speed upgrade. They're taking out the Archons and the Zealots, and lot of Zerglings and Banelings are left. Only a couple of dudes for the Protoss player. Will it be enough to kill the army of the Zerg? I don't think so. No immortals here. And yeah, Storm doesn't do all that much versus an Ultralisk. And Marchicore is still tickling the Ultralisk. And there was the lull. Anyway, I guess GnarWallMan will win this game with Zerglings and Mutalisks, obviously. And okay, so I think we can conclude that G-Man did a better job this time as of unit composition. Yes, there were a couple of things you could have done better, like simultaneous attacks, be harassing a bit more OP. I have to agree, as a Protoss it's quite hard to defend against a Zerg that goes for a Mutalisk. But let's go back to the first game. You actually did the exact same thing as the Protoss. You were just like turtling, doing nothing in the base. That's something you cannot do as a Protoss versus a Zerg. As a Protoss you have to determine the pace. For example, if you would have gone for Phoenixes at the start instead of your War Prism, no way G-Man would have built the Mutalisks. I mean, the Phoenixes are the hard counter versus Mutalisks. And yeah, like I said before, this map is OP for Mutalisks. And determining the pace of the game as a Protoss is important if you're facing Zerg. It actually gives you more intel on what your opponent is doing. You might actually be able to take down some hatcheries. Yeah, reducing his income and all that. So that's very.
How many Phoenix does TossBoss need for this Muta army?
Well, if the Mutalisks are chasing one Phoenix, the one Phoenix can take you down. Simply because the Phoenix is faster, has a longer range, especially when the range upgrade is already done.
Yeah.
I think Phoenix has 5 range, maybe 4, but with the upgrade it has 6 or 7 or something. And Mutalisks only have 3. And they're light units, so Phoenixes do extra damage. And Zerg or Mutalisks start with 0 armor, so they take the full damage of a Phoenix. So a single Phoenix can actually take out this army of Mutalisks. If obviously controlled incorrect
if you can micro it. But yeah, I mean that's the whole point. I mean, just if you had scouted,
yeah, and one more thing. If you take a look at the composition of the Zerg, what do you see? What did you see the whole game? You only saw Zerglings and Mutalisks. What is the best counter versus that? I think air. They don't have anti-air. I mean, Mutalisks are bad versus Void Rays combined with Phoenixes, and Zerglings, Ultralisks, no way they will be attacking air. I mean, they'll just be sitting ducks there. Anyway, anything else to add?
No, I'm actually pretty excited now for the next game.
Yeah, me too. I definitely saw some improvement from G-Man. It's always nice to see. We saw the same gameplay from TossBoss. That's something you can work on, obviously, but I guess we won't be seeing that in the next couple of 3 games unless you actually try something new.
Yep.
Well, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the 3rd video of the best of 5 between G-Man and TossBoss. And yeah, see you later. Bye bye.
See you next game.